the 3 core principles that are the basics of our LinkedIn method, the actual method. There are 3 basic steps that we call basically build, drive, and automate. So let me talk you through this for a hot minute. We teach our clients, we're going to teach you over the next 9 days how to build what we call lovingly your virtual storefront. Okay. What is your virtual storefront? If you are in business, this is going to be a really great exercise for all of you guys. What's interesting is LinkedIn on SEO, it shows up. It's very well favored. So a good exercise for you guys is to Google your name and see how quickly your LinkedIn profile shows up. Okay. Google your name, Google your business, and see how far up in SEO your LinkedIn profile is. So we call your profile your virtual storefront. What we teach inside of our academy is how to build your car, right? Your brand, your storefront before you start driving it. Why am I bringing this up on day 1? Because what's going to happen is some of you are going to go start growing your connections this afternoon after I share with you why LinkedIn is so hot, why it's different than the other platforms. We teach inside of our academy to build your profile first. Why do we want you to build your brand, build your message, which is what we're going to focus on over the next couple of days? Why do we want you to do that before we drive the platform, which is strategically growing your network? Why do we want you to do that? What do you do when someone requests to connect with you? Somebody share with me in the chat. When someone requests to connect with you, what is the very first thing you do? What's the very first thing you do? I know I'm not alone on this. What do? We check out people's profiles, right? You check them out. The fatal mistake a lot of people make when they come into some of our training is they get to driving, they get to growing their network. And here's the problem. If your virtual storefront is not tight with your value proposition, who you serve, how you serve them, and the transformation they can expect, you're actually losing priceless engagement, because when you go to request to connect with people, you're missing the opportunity for them to lean in to learn more about what you have to offer because you haven't optimized your profile first. Is this making sense? So we optimize our profile first. We build our car first so that when people land on your virtual storefront within 2 to 3 seconds, and this is what we're going to cover over the next couple of days, they know who you serve, how you serve, and a very clear call to action, how to connect with you. Now, once we build our virtual storefront and people know who we serve, how we serve, right? And they can literally jump into their screen because they want what you have to offer. Then we can move into driving the strategic network growth. We can begin driving your brand. But it's very important in the build phase that you are very clear what your content pillars are before you drive your content in phase 2. So hopefully I'm making sense. We're going to talk about what are some strategic content pillars that you can revisit on a weekly basis over on LinkedIn in order to drive engagement and authority on the platform, right? But we have to know what those content pillars are before we can drive phase 2, the content. Is this making sense? We're going to build our car or build our platform, build our brand first, and we're going to build our storefront, build our content pillars, right? That's phase 1. Phase 2, we're going to drive the platform. We're going to grow your audience, grow your brand, or drive your car, right? Now, what's the sweet spot? The sweet spot is actually in the final phase, which is what we call automation or autopilot. So once you're driving on LinkedIn and you've nailed your verbiage that converts in the DMs, you've nailed your recruitment tactics on strategic growth to get, by the way, the right audience seeing your content. Now, this is another thing a lot of people miss. You can have the most profound content on the planet, and if you're not balancing that with strategic network growth, you might as well be walking into a stadium with a big old billboard and there's nobody in the audience. I've seen it over and over and over again. I've worked with 7-figure brands that come to me who are influencers over on Instagram and say, I don't get it, Melissa. I post the same content over here that I posted on Instagram and no one's engaging. And I say, that's interesting. What are you doing to grow your network? And they're like, And I'm like, yeah, what are you doing to grow your audience? And they're like, nothing. And I'm like, okay. So when was the last time you set up your LinkedIn account? When was the last time you grew your network? This particular multiple 7-figure earner that I had this conversation with said, well, I guess when I was applying to nursing school. Okay. So that was a decade ago. And probably your network on LinkedIn is a bunch of people from a decade ago who are from like your undergrad nursing school network. Now you're a high ticket business coach who charges $100,000 for people to spend a year with you. And you've got high ticket coaching programs, but your audience, you are way above and beyond the audience that you currently have on LinkedIn. Is this making sense to you guys? Her content can be so transformative, so value added. She can be an absolute thought leader, but if it lands on the wrong network from a decade ago, which by the way, probably 3/4 of them aren't even using the platform, you've got a dead audience. So that drive, level 2, that drive, the car drive, the audience is very important. How do you identify who your audience is on LinkedIn? How do you grow a network that your content is going to convert into sales? So it is the yin and yang, guys. Your branding and your messaging is very important, but your strategic network growth is just as important. You can't have one and not have the other. But the beauty is it's very simple. And all you have to do is stay consistent. Okay. So that third level is automation. The third level is you've got your content pillars, you're weekly pushing your content out. Now, this is the sweet spot that our clients can speak to is the leads are coming to you. You are no longer chasing the leads. They are coming to you in droves. So much so, you get to a sweet spot where you can't keep up with your DMs. You've got so many people coming in curious about what you have to offer that you need to automate and pre-qualify who deserves time with you. And so in phase 3, we teach how to automate and to pre-qualify leads through a funnel so that you can have a pre-screen process for people to pop into your calendar during times that work for you and a follow-up formula and tracking system for all of that. Guys, you know what's kind of funny? The lead generation for our clients is what birthed our agency. We actually launched an agency because our clients were like, we have so many leads, we can't handle them and our business. So we were like, well, would it help if we had some VAs that could help you? And it birthed our agency, right? Okay. So let's wrap this concept in a bow. It's a 3-phased approach that is spectacularly simple. You just need to be consistent. Okay. That 3-phased approach is, what is it? You guys share in the chat. Blady's going to award somebody with some burnout to all out swag today who's recalling what we're sharing. It's a 3-phased approach. We're going to build the car. We're going to visit this every single day, guys. Build the car. You're going to build your profile. You're going to build your content out. You're going to drive the car, right? You're going to grow your network. You're going to drive your content. And then phase 3 is you're going to automate. You're going to pre-qualify.